Chaos has erupted across Britain, and the country is hurtling towards a breaking point. What began as murmurs of discontent in the countryside has exploded into a full-blown national crisis, shaking the very foundations of power. In an unprecedented twist, King Charles himself is said to have lost his composure behind palace walls after witnessing disturbing evidence of the government's latest crackdown. The man known for his calm and restraint reportedly erupted in fury after seeing shocking footage of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's administration arresting farmers and ordinary voters under what they chillingly call non-compliance laws. Welcome to UK News. What we are witnessing isn't just political unrest, it's the government turning on its own people. From Buckingham Palace to the streets of London, rage is boiling over, and Britain is teetering on the edge of something it hasn't seen in generations. The warning signs were subtle at first. Quiet protests in rural towns, desperate social media posts from families facing sudden audits, and whispers from legal observers about authoritarian overreach. But those whispers didn't stay quiet for long. Within days, they turned into a deafening roar. Across England's agricultural heartland, Somerset, Lincolnshire, Devon, Northland, the very fields that symbolize Britain's farming pride have transformed into battlegrounds of resistance. So, what sparked this firestorm? A series of draconian, emergency compliance orders pushed through by the Starmer government. Under these laws, anyone seen as resisting national directives could be detained without trial, question the government, risk arrest, refuse sudden property inspections, you're branded non-compliant. Attend an unauthorized meeting, you're dragged away in handcuffs. It began with farmers. Labor's crushing new tax regulations have put small landowners on the brink of ruin. Controversial inheritance tax changes slapped astronomical valuations on generational farms, while surprise audits stormed the countryside. When some farmers dared to deny government agents instant access to their private land, the state retaliated with brute force. The arrests came swiftly. Dozens of farmers were handcuffed in front of their terrified families. Tractors seized. Fields marked for state takeover. Heart-wrenching footage flooded social media, gritty, unfiltered clips of peaceful men and women being dragged off their own property by riot police. Their crime? Refusing to surrender their livelihoods to bureaucratic tyranny. The phrase non-compliance has become a weapon. In Essex, a 62-year-old farmer was hauled out of his barn for objecting to a sudden property reassessment. In Dorset, a young couple was arrested at a town hall meeting for simply questioning how they'd pay their winter heating bill. In Shropshire, the image of a 14-year-old girl being escorted out of a community center by armed officers for handing out leaflets criticizing government energy policy has burned into the nation's memory. Britain watched in disbelief as the line between governance and oppression vanished. Democracy has been replaced by fear. And then came the moment that sent shockwaves through the establishment. King Charles learning the truth not from the government, but through leaked footage delivered by palace aides. According to royal insiders, the king was shown a harrowing compilation of the past 72 hours. Elderly farmers thrown to the ground. Peaceful tractor protests broken up with tear gas. A disabled war veteran arrested for waving the Union Jack outside his own village hall. What followed was nothing short of explosive. Witnesses claim King Charles slammed his hand on the table and roared, "This is disgraceful. This is not who we are." Palace staff say they have never seen him so enraged in decades of service. The king immediately placed a direct, unscheduled call to Prime Minister Keir Starmer, a conversation described as anything but polite. Sources close to the palace allege the monarch's voice was cold and furious as he warned, "You are tearing this nation apart. You are arresting the very people who built this country with their hands and their blood. This ends now. This isn't just a political scandal. This is a national betrayal. The government has been caught red-handed trampling on the rights of its own citizens, and the backlash is only growing. What started in the rural field of England has now spread into cities, villages, and households across the UK. The fury is no longer whispers of the thunderclap demanding change. Britain stands at a crossroads. One path leads to justice and accountability. The other plunges the nation deeper into authoritarian darkness. The question is no longer if the people will rise, but how far they are willing to go to reclaim their freedom. This is UK News. Stay tuned, because the fight for Britain's soul has just begun.